Welcome, everybody,
Yeah.
to episode 45 of The Lookout.
Mm.
I'm Meals. I'm here with the Platinum Chanel boy himself, Jeff.
Yes, sir.
And we are here. I don't know what we are here for. I mean, we're here. It's the post-Thanksgiving.
Yeah. How was your Thanksgiving?
It was okay.
I'm not like crazy. I love my family. Don't get me wrong, but like,
of course,
I don't need Thanksgiving to like enjoy a good time with my family. But it was cool. Like, it was a good time.
My man said, I don't need Thanksgiving. Actually, how was your Thanksgiving? But in terms of my thing, I don't need Thanksgiving to know a good time with my family.
No, yeah, fuck that shit, man. Thanksgiving is a corrupt holiday, and I cannot believe that we still celebrate it as a country, but I hear you.
America, traditions.
Yeah,
I think
we change things, yeah.
Of course, everyone just wants the 2 days off with no question.
That's
to be honest with you,
that's it.
I'm not really. It's really the only reason why we still celebrate Columbus Day because I get off from work. So,
yeah, I don't. That is like, well, Thanksgiving is one thing, but Columbus Day is like, I have
Columbus
no
Day
idea
definitely
how.
needs to be.
Yeah, I have no idea how we still run that shit, but that's a
in
whole
the climate that we're in now.
Nobody said anything about it. Like,
nah, it would be like everyone celebrating like R. Kelly's birthday.
It's like we're still doing this. Like,
this is wow. Okay, sure. I mean, yeah, if the day is off, I mean, I'm gonna take it, but
of course,
that's because I'm obligated to by the law. But otherwise, yes. You know what? We are coming up actually on a year, almost a year. It's actually been over a year, depending on where you are in the world, since that Dragon Ball Super Broly movie.
Yeah.
There's been nothing.
I'm gonna watch it again. I'm gonna watch it again tonight.
Really? Okay, I'm gonna watch it too. Since you gave me that free thing.
Yeah, I know. Did we tell them about that? Oh, I think I did mention it on that episode that time because I was like, I was gonna give it away, and then Mills was like, "Fuck no."
I want to watch it unlimited too.
Yeah, I feel you. Like, all my codes stay in my Blu-rays and my 4K. So like, normally they just sit there. And I was like, you know what? Let me ask Mills if he wants this shit because I mean, it's the movie. It's just digital.
Yeah. So maybe Dragon Ball Super Broly is worth revisiting a year later. I don't know if we're going to do any episode on it, but we don't really but we're waiting for new stuff. Come on. I mean, just new stuff. Where are we at?
The new, not just waiting on new stuff, but then we have to wait through the stuff that we've read and how long that it seems like it's going to be.
Oh God, it's going to be so...
It's going to be so long. You know what I'm saying?
So like, far behind.
We're so far behind. Crazy. So the way... If you're reading it,
wild because the anime was before.
I know exactly,
manga, which makes no sense in any.
No sense, bro. So like when we start reviewing, it's gonna. That's gonna be a whole season, like what we've read up to,
bro.
I know,
man.
We'll find a way.
Well, welcome everybody. Hopefully you've been enjoying the Saiyan saga thus far. Do you still want to, all right, so let's make an executive decision here.
Yeah.
Do you still want to do Last Time on the Lookout this season? I was thinking about like just getting rid of it. It's fun, but also I think
that it would be nice to bring back when we get to new episodes.
Okay. All right. That sounds good. You know what?
And that's only because, it's fresh, it would be new 100%. Stuff for mostly everybody.
So, maybe we won't do it this season, but we'll bring it back. Also, boom, I can't even realize that I'll be really burying the lead on here. First of all, everyone thus far who has purchased our merchandise, rncradio.bigcartel.com. I'm going to say that
grateful.
rncradio.bigcartel.com. We have new merchandise. It dropped on Black Friday. Extremely grateful for those who have purchased it. Hoping that people continue to, as it'll be up forever. I mean,
send us pictures. Send us pictures
until we decide to take it down, and then we get locked into some contracts with Uniqlo or something. You know what?
Yes.
I hate the Uniqlo. Do you like the Uniqlo Dragon Ball?
No, I'm not a fan. To be honest, I'm not a fan of a lot of anime merch because I just feel like, I don't want to say it's not creative, but it's just like a lot of copy paste.
Right.
To me,
it's weird because you know what, I like a lot of the urban designs, and that's what people who put in like actual like effort into it, as opposed to be like you go to Hot Topic and it's just like whatever, it's like Goku, you know, in this stance on a shirt, or Uniqlo, where it's like obviously all the commercial use photos where it's like Goku from like 30 years ago riding a Nimbus or something like that. Like I really dislike the Uniqlo merch. I remember my coworker linked it to me. I was like, "Oh, it's here." I was like, "Oh, that's cool," but I'm not gonna buy it because I have my own merch coming out. Buy my merch at rncradio.bigcartel.com.
Yes, sir.
So if you got the cash, if you got the time, and you would like to support, feel free. Pick up a shirt. Show your support. Show your love. It doesn't hurt to. You know what? It doesn't hurt to spend love. It costs. I don't want to say it costs nothing to show a love, because at this
we all know that's not true.
It costs at least $25, but we would very much so appreciate it. And who knows? 100%. I mean, there's a lot of things that could come after this. We're very grateful people. We love our audience who are there, who are listening to every episode. We'll definitely do some more fun stuff that you just give away stuff that are like free and not stuff you have to pay for, but. In the meantime, support rncradio.bigcartel.com. I'm going to keep saying it throughout the rest of the podcast at some points. Random points.
It's important.
Jeff, did you get through the 15 episodes of Dragon Ball Z that was subscribed by myself onto you? Did you manage to get through them?
Yeah, man. I mean, for me, we're going to talk about a lot of filler in this episode.
Yes.
And some filler has purpose, and then some is just like absolutely garbage.
Right.
Like, why? Which is why we enjoy Kai so much.
100%. I mean, we're still not watching the Kai thing. We're watching the actual.
No, of course.
The original release of this. But in terms of this, I mean, episode 6 through 21, which is what we're going to be discussing on this episode.
I know people who like look down on like skipping filler. So
I mean, here's the thing about
filler. You know what I mean? Like, no, I'm saying like there's really people out here that like will look down on you for skipping filler.
It really depends, though. So let's talk about filler for a second.
Yeah, sure.
Just in the grand scheme of things, not just in Dragon Ball terms, but just filler in general.
Because it happens in everything. I mean, your favorite sitcom. Your favorite anime, even in actual hour, 30-minute movies, there's a 15. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's filler in everything.
So I would say, what is the general purpose? What have you seen is the best use of filler?
It's like
in anime. I want to for anime.
I mean, it can be a calm down episode. It could be high stakes that happen, and it was just very emotional. So they decide to break away from all the drama and just give you. Depending on what anime you're in, 10, 15 episodes of filler. And you have some animes that you really can't tell if there is any filler, which is always amazing.
I mean, those, I think, I would say, I don't think there's any filler. I mean, is there filler in Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood?
I'm going to tell you what. I don't remember their, like, Full Metal, like Brotherhood.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't think there's any filler in that. Damn.
Yeah, everything is kind of critical. It's like a long, ongoing story, right?
Yeah.
But in terms of like other anime, like Pokemon, where filler is the back,
it's the spine. Yeah, for sure.
Because when you have 150 Pokemon to sort of introduce in various ways, apparently they all can't just be introduced in battles. They have to be introduced where there's a Yamper up a tree. And Charizard is chasing it. No, he can't. I'm just making up some.
Dude,
he was in the new episode. He was in last week's episode.
No, I was gonna say Yampers can climb.
Yeah, he was in last week's episode. They finally they dropped.
I've only watched the Pikachu, man.
Okay, it's not you didn't miss. Well, actually, you did miss much. I wouldn't consider the last episode of Pokemon filler. I actually wouldn't, because they finally meet the Lugia that they're going to ride on with through all the regions. So I wouldn't call it filler, but Pokemon, for the most part, I think one of the reasons why it was so popular and then fell out of popularity so quickly.
Yeah, because we were aging faster than what like the progression of the anime And
I mean, you want to get from one gym to the next gym, and you don't really want to wait 23 episodes to get to the next
because when we were kids, I mean, those gym episodes were really good. I thought that was some of the prime stuff about, you know, the series, and some of those really sad moments were really good. But
right,
you know,
and it was something that you could easily relate to. It's a 1-to-1 ratio from the anime to the game that you can just kind of like put together, and you can see Ash's experience, and then maybe you compare it to your own. You know?
Yeah, definitely.
But in terms of the episodes in between them, I mean, just various things. And I haven't seen, I mean, when I look at another anime, I would say like My Hero Academia, which has like filler, but it's also progression in a way.
I was gonna say, I was gonna you know, mention that to you. I feel like filler has evolved in a sense of, hey, we got to make the fans sit through this just for a calm down period, but we need to put things in there that are important to hardcore fans. It could be small information. It could be something as small as a fucking birthday. You know what I'm saying? Right. Like, it's just little things that trigger fanhood. Like, oh, I love this character even more because this filler episode, the famous Goku Piccolo driver's license. You know what I'm saying?
A classic.
A great filler episode. Like one of the best like episodes in general. I just saw some like good.
I actually think a lot of the things in that Cell saga before the Cell games part, I was like, wow, this is really
cool. Really good,
like,
right? Yeah.
It's when they go back to because I'm a sucker for General Tao, but a lot of cool stuff there. But then you get the other filler like in Super where they're playing a baseball game. It's universe, you know, it's Champa versus this other guy. I forgot his name already. In the baseball game, I think Super starts off with filler as opposed to starting off in the actual arc. And I'm pretty sure when it comes back, it's going to start the same way. Like it's not. We're going to be introduced to all these characters, and then Boo's going to end up
100%
or something.
100%.
So it is, but filler, you know, various purposes in anime arcs. These sort of episodes, if you're managed to tune into this is a lot of filler, and it's a lot of filler, just based on some of the development of Gohan, because a lot of it is. But in terms of the actual progression to the plot, there is none for a large part of these episodes, as opposed to just having fun after Goku dies.
Well, yeah, I think they were trying to cover some bases so that they didn't have to do it again, as far as like Gohan is concerned, and like, you know, his relationship with Piccolo. Like a lot of that stuff, it held a reason, but like at the time, we just want to get to whatever's next, whatever's big.
Oh, for sure. Because when you drop one episode a week and you have Gohan befriending a tiger and trying to save him from poachers.
These kids have it so good, dude. Because we literally had to sit through filler episodes to get to something exciting, and it would take months.
It would take forever. Especially the Namek saga?
Yes.
I mean, beyond just being filler in there, they're just long, drawn-out things, just in general. It is one reason why we haven't actually gotten to it yet, but I'm sure one day we actually will, and we'll have to like really sit down and prepare for this entire thing, because it is a long one. I was thinking about, I texted you earlier in the week, and I was like, should we skip these episodes just because they're majority filler? Yeah. And then, but towards the end of the subset of episodes that we kind of watch, a lot of interesting things goes on.
It's all development in a sense.
Yeah. You know? Yeah. Let's break it up, because there's the first bit of development, and then probably, I don't know if it would be most interesting. I guess it depends on the person you are, but it's the entire Gohan and Piccolo training. Yeah. Because, you know, Piccolo eventually, I mean, he kidnaps Gohan. I don't want to hear anything about it. He just stole him from his family. And the first few episodes is Krillin trying to tell Chi-Chi that not only Goku is dead, but Gohan is off training with some green dude that tried to kill him in the tournament 5 years ago. Which is weird, which was hilarious, because Krillin really like went an entire, like he went there, slept there, ate there.
Yeah, it's like, why are you here? We've had this discussion about people staying at Goku's house while he's not there. Remember? You don't remember the Yamcha situation?
Well, this is true. I mean, I don't know. I think it's because they're best friends.
I mean, I hear that.
Yamcha isn't a best friend. Krillin is a best. I don't see Krillin,
bro. I'm not pulling up to Mills' house while he's gone and chilling at his crib with his wife. Doesn't matter how close we are, man.
I think they were all waiting for Goku to come home. I think
yeah, but
he didn't want to leave. This wasn't like Yamcha's, where it's like obviously Goku's incapacitated and Yamcha's just chilling there.
Even spend that much time at home.
Yeah, for sure.
They should know better.
With that said, Gohan is learning to be a fighter. Actually, the first bit of filler in this entire thing is Gohan learning to survive on his own, which is like eating berries and mushrooms.
But I thought that was, I didn't mind that stuff.
I actually did. I was like, whoa, this is kind of not like boring, but it's like there's a lot of nothing going on.
The worst thing about it was his voice. I mean, Gohan's voice to me, I try to watch the subtitle version of like these things, especially with Gohan's voice. I have this thing with his voice when he was this age.
You didn't like any of Dragon Ball then?
Oh my god, like his voice is just so annoying. The dub is just so annoying.
But it's the same voice as Kid Goku.
So whiny. I know, but it's just so whiny and.
But he's a whiny kid.
Oh man,
he's not the same as Goku. Like Goku was adventurous. Goku was kind of confident, but Gohan is a lot of whining. You're getting through a lot of whining in this arc because the man has been the boy, the kid, practically a toddler, has been left alone in the forest with like brief supervision from Piccolo, but overall left to fend on himself and only kind of do. If it were me at that age, 5 years old, 6 years old, there's no way I'm surviving in that forest. I'm being eaten on day one.
No, 100%. I'm not looking for food.
I don't know what berries to eat. I don't know what mushrooms to eat. I don't know how to make a fire. But you know, anime. Piccolo's trying to get the best out of him in 1 year. I'd say. So we're gonna say the first 6 months was Piccolo just trying to like train on his own, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I was just like, wait, why didn't he train him for the entire year?
Yeah, I mean, you would think that would have been more efficient. But I guess he wanted to teach Gohan how to take care of himself.
Become a man.
Yeah.
Mulan shit. You know, like it needed a good like musical background to sort of do this in terms of in Disney, it would have been a whole montage of just like, I can't wait to be a Saiyan or something.
Yeah, let's be glad Dragon Ball is not under the mouse. For real.
Probably the most entertaining episode, or at least the most thrilling episode. Gohan, very weird. All right, this is a weird set of circumstances because it was just happened to be a coincidence that Gohan was staying in the same area that Goku landed.
Yeah.
However many years ago, and then his Saiyan pod was still there, and then it depicts an image of the moon. So he looks at that. I was like, all of this is very like coincidental. But either way, Goku's pod, which has been chilling there for 20 years, got to be at this point, finally wakes up and shoots the moon at the sky.
Nobody's thought about getting this pod or looking for this pod.
I don't think anyone knows it exists. Honestly, they don't even know until Vegeta and Nappa lands. They don't even know what. I guess
it's pretty cool that they had fucking artificial moons.
That's true.
Ready to go destroy planets.
It's forward thinking. Yeah,
definitely.
It's forward thinking just based on the fact that it's like, listen, you know, we're at our strongest, at our highest potentials when we become the mighty Uzaru. And I don't know. It's just, I don't know. It was interesting. You'll see Piccolo trying to evade this entire thing, trying to avoid it, and then realizing, damn, this kid is strong as hell.
Yeah, he's legit.
Like, this is crazy. What do you think Gohan got the most out of this training?
For me, I think he had to understand, like, and just looking into the future of the series as well. It's like, yeah, I mean, this is a good bit of filler, but it did teach Gohan straight fundamentals, even though he was whining the entire time. As far as like being a man, and that's where the joke comes in from Piccolo kind of raising Gohan on his own, and Goku was just there when he was there.
But in terms of just Damn. I think in terms of what Gohan got on his own, or at least the most out of this, I think he learned um I don't know, I guess it was self-independence because a lot of it, I mean, he was a whiny baby. I mean, he still is.
Was he? I mean, he was a mama's boy, but he still kind of continued to be that way. It was
Right.
more. I think
But
he
he
got
kind
some
of manned up
pride
a little
from.
bit.
Yeah, yeah, he got some pride that he could be strong.
Right. And he manned up a little bit and he turns like, listen, I can do this. Everyone can do this. I mean, it is possible. There are people who are about to die. My dad is going to die. I mean, he still waited his dad. At the end of the day, I think whether he thinks he's strong or not, he was just like, yo, and my dad is going to come back. And that is how we'll win. But I think overall, he just learned a lot more so about independence and having to understand that you have to kind of be tough and have up a tough front in the face of adversity, as opposed to running away and crying from it.
No,
I
nobody
think
let this kid
those
mourn at all.
right, no, not at all. I
He
mean, I
wasn't
don't even
allowed to
think he
mourn.
kind of, I don't think he realized it at the time because, I mean, he cried a little bit. Obviously, he cried because he's a
Yeah,
crier, but Piccolo was just like, yo, cut that shit out. It's
some
time
real
to
shit
train.
happening. Yeah, some real
The
shit's going
Saiyans are
on.
coming in the air. We need to do this. So, bada bing, bada boom. Piccolo from this entire arc, the big green Uncle Piccolo.
Yeah, one of your favorite
Uh,
characters.
mhm.
Yeah,
I- in Dragon Ball, yes. Here, he's definitely softening up a little bit, but I liked how he's still kind of tough on them, and I wish he was still kind of that way now. I mean,
right.
you kind of see him he's tough on Goten and Trunks in the future because they're just bumbling idiots, and he doesn't have the patience.
Exactly.
He doesn't have the patience to deal with them. Here's kind of the same thing, but you kind of get to see him warming up. I mean, he goes out of his way to save, Gohan on multiple occasions, even though he doesn't have to. And he's still, at the end of the day, he's like, as much as he left Gohan alone for those first 6 months, he was very much so keeping a close eye on him to make sure
Yeah,
nothing went
always.
wrong.
Piccolo wasn't about to let this kid die.
Right. And it was a weird circumstance because this is the son of his mortal enemy.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like Creed, ain't it? Like,
Well, yeah, but it is. But we also talked about like how him and Goku's like relationship was just strange, especially during the Raditz fight.
right. But
It's
it's at the
like,
end of the day, he still considers Goku, like he even says in this thing, like we're training to fight the Saiyans, and after that, I'm going after your
I'm going
dad.
after your dad. Yeah,
But
but like it didn't seem convincing though when he said it.
nah, it didn't. And I think a lot of it,
He didn't mean
and
that shit.
especially when we get to the big moment itself, it kind of all comes crashing down because it ends up being this like wild burst of emotion type of deal.
Mm-hmm.
But Piccolo learned a lot to be, a lot more caring, working a lot more with others, and being able to sort of deal, with humans and children, and just having a compassionate heart as opposed to kind of the black heart, and
Right.
you kind of see the evilness kind of like fading away, which is nice, especially considering, I think everyone who hangs out with Goku enough becomes a good guy. So
Yeah,
we're
that's
Vegeta.
how it works. That's how it works.
Um, let's get into the other bit of training. We're moving on from Gohan and Piccolo. We're moving to the Krillin, Yamcha, Tien, Chaozu quartet of training as they seek out Kami to train. Um, your thoughts on their particular training?
A waste of time.
I feel like it was. You know what?
A
Here's the
waste
thing.
of time, bro.
Here's the thing, though.
'Cause
It's
I just feel
they're
like-
so far behind the
Yes,
curve.
bro. It doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter. It's like, and then even with this, they still make those same decisions later on about how they even know it's a waste. Like they know they shouldn't be there, or they know it's a waste of time. So like, I hate when they give opportunities like this to sub characters, to side characters, and it doesn't really lead to anything. Which is why we enjoyed the tournament so much for Super, right? Because we got to see real training and real things happen. And you're like, okay, well now that makes sense.
Development, real
Yeah,
time, all this
yeah.
other stuff. And even everyone before the actual tournament itself, where you see Tien training, he's strong in his own right. He's not
Mhm.
necessarily, he's not being compared to Goku. He's not being compared to Vegeta. He's
Right.
kind of being compared on his own and respected on his own. Even Krillin, in a sense, like he trains on his own. He has this moment in Super where he actually gets the best of Goku on various occasions, just because he's strong on his own. They kind of separate everyone from his own. This entire training montage, and I even think when they eventually die and go to King Kai's, it's kind of like we don't know what to do with them, so we're just going to continue to copy the Goku thing.
Right. Do you think this was them putting them in that bubble? Like this was like, okay, we need to start separating because considering
they're all grouped together.
Right. They put Gohan and Piccolo. It really is when you look at it in the long run. It's like they really separated the importance of, the Warriors in that sense, because let's knock all this out right now.
Right.
They're not going to mean anything. They'll have specific moments in history throughout the series that mean something, but this filler or this training may not mean anything except for,
they get to train with the little weighted. They get to train with the little weighted clothing thing. Goku's like been there, done that. Y'all. Yeah. They get to probably the most significant thing is, what is it? I don't think it's, what was that called? Is it the Room of Spirit and Time? No, it's not the Room of Spirit and Time.
The Pendulum Room, Peril.
Oh, right, because Goku did go back in time.
I'm pretty sure.
And he met with Master Roshi back in the day. You're fucking right. It was the Pendulum Room.
It is. Thank you, man. It is. Yeah, bro.
With that said, they go back in time and they find these Saiyans from the past, and which honestly this is the worst bit of foreshadowing of all time. Because they fight two Saiyans with this balding Saiyan and then this
other
are
these Saiyan. Guys?
I don't know, man.
Their looks are disgusting, by the way. One of them's like got it.
He one of them's named Shorty, and one of them named Scarface.
Shorty. Wait, but Scarface is the short guy.
Scarface is the short guy.
Scarface Shorty's the guy who looks like he has the flu. His body's like it's like he has no color. Like he looks like a Doug Funny. Like a Doug.
They didn't know how to color this at all.
No. You know what? Because they didn't want assholes like us wanting to know their past histories.
This is true.
What's up with these Saiyans? We need to know more about these Saiyans.
They go back in time. Chaozu is the first to die. Then I think a number of other people are quickly to die. Either way, all of these Saiyans, kill them. Not real. But I think from that sort of experience, they get to see the kind of gravity of this entire thing. It was like, yo, we need to take our training to the next level.
I was looking up their Japanese names. Shorty, he's his Japanese name is Borokoko. I guess it's broccoli.
Oh,
we gotta hit our veggies up when we talk about these sayings. Scarface, his is Pencumpingen, and it's a pumpkin.
Okay, all right.
So, yeah.
The more you know. The more you know
about these guys, Shorty and Scarface.
I love this entire training thing because you don't get to see much of the training. I'm beginning to question Kami's training at all, or if it's just training with heavy shirts on. You to death. It might just be training with heavy shirts on. But they finished the training. They finished the training stupid early, and then Kami's like, "I'm done here. You guys can go down to Earth and continue your training on your own."
I'm like, really? Okay, you just okay? Like, what was that all
you
about?
Have to teach us?
Yeah.
But nonetheless, I mean, it's to me, this is the thing that ended up grouping Yamcha and Tien together, which is so unfortunate for Tien.
Yes. Extremely, because we talk about how cool Tien has always been. I think I've never had anything awful to say about him, and he's showed up in really great moments. He has probably one of the best sub character moments with Cell.
Yeah, obviously they're not going to fully give up on him, but they've kind of given up on him. But they don't want to fully give up on him.
Right.
But with that said,
he deserves more. He deserves more. I think he
100% deserves more. Yeah. With that said, that's down for their training, that group of four, and Yajirobe, who's just like, whatever, man, I'm just eating. Let's get to Goku's training.
Actually, you know what? I'm sorry. Yajirobe may have had more important moments than any of these niggas. And that is bad.
Make your case, sir. Make your case.
Yeah. I mean, first of all, the tail.
The
Vegeta.
tail. That is a very that is one of the most important things. I mean
He saved some lives during destruction of
that's
planets.
the beginning of the end. And first of all, he outlives everyone apparently in Super.
Always.
He outlived everyone. Goku, Virus, Vegeta, Piccolo, all the Z fighters that got killed by the androids. He outlived all of them. I mean,
I'm just
maybe
saying, man,
he does.
he's got some.
Maybe.
I mean, it's hilarious that I mean, it's all purposely done. I'm sure, but yeah, man, bundling these guys together, I get it. It could have been worse, Mills. We could have had backstories on each and every one of them that meant absolutely nothing, and took another 15 episodes.
This is true. Let's get to Goku's training, because speaking of 15 episodes, it takes him an astounding 12 episodes to make it down Snake Way.
Okay. How do you feel? How do you feel about Snake Way?
I
hate Snake Way. Yeah, okay. I mean, we are on the same fucking page. Because you know those cuts where like they'll go to Goku kind of talking to himself, and talking for like 10 minutes about what he should do next or what, and then they just cut back to him running through Snake Way. I'm like, how long is this fucking trail?
So I like the introduction where he meets King Yama.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like he learns all about stuff, and you kind of get to see some humor from Kami as well. He's like, oh, you don't want to train with him because King Kai is actually stronger than King Yama, and he's just like, Kami, I heard that. Like, he's just, I'm wondering what King Yama's thing is, because he just seems like he seems like an executive assistant. I don't know, just like someone who has to check in everybody who ever steps in from the other, making their way to the other side, which is crazy. Because would you ever want to see like a backstory on King Yama, even just like an episode?
Yeah. I actually love King Yama. I think he's awesome.
I need to know why he's king, and I need to know
like what did he
in the position he is now.
Exactly. Like, I mean, he's always been a cool character.
Yeah, I think so. With that said, an astounding 12 episodes, we go through, Goku falls off Snake Way and ends up and has to start it over again. He meets Princess Snake, who wants to, like, I don't know, eat him or seduce him or both. And there's just a lot of running until he reaches the end. He makes it to the end of Snake Way, and he meets King Kai. Now, new character alert. King Kai. What are our thoughts on King Kai? I don't know how many times we've talked about King Kai, but we've never really actually broken it down. But your thoughts on King Kai?
King Kai, I think, is a really great form of comic relief.
I agree.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of feel like, to an extent, like they needed an overpower type person that was that, that's all it was. I mean, he has his purpose. He checks in, talks to Goku telepathically when he needs to.
Right. I feel like he's like the local because eventually, as the Dragon Ball universe gets bigger, as we grow, it's like, oh, you find out he's King Kai. Yeah. He's over Kami, and then you learn, oh, he's just North Kai.
Yeah, but he's more goofy than anything to me. Like I get more of that.
He, to me, I think probably his most shining moment. He hasn't had a lot of things in Super, obviously, nor in GT, I think. But I think his entire presence in Z is needed. Mm-hmm. He works out a lot of stuff very, very well. A lot of comic relief, a lot of training, a lot of jokes, a lot of things. The relationship between him and Goku is fun. He considers Goku pretty much his like greatest pupil yet. A lot of things. I mean, I think just King Kai in general. And a question, is this his most significant training ever? Do you feel like it's his most significant training, considering he's trained with Roshi thus far? He trains with Korin, kind of, I think. I don't know if it was much more Korin or drinking that juice.
I mean,
he trains with Kami. He trains on Yardrat. I mean, Yardrat, we don't really have to take in. He trains with Whis, and if you're reading the manga now, he's training with Maris. Do you feel like the King Kai training possibly might be the most significant thing that he's ever?
I would say yes. From a Goku perspective.
Right. I mean, I would agree.
And that's just because, hey man, let's not. Goku is a silly character and he's always been overpowered, whatever. But like when Goku came back, that nigga was on some shit, bro. I mean, he was a different type of man at that point. And then we had that part where when Goku accepts the Saiyan shit, he just is. It's like Goku has these things where, like, yes, he's always been super powerful, but he starts to accept certain things, which just takes him over the top. Always.
Right. I think it's the most significant for a number of reasons. I'd probably say the most important things are the techniques that he learns that he carries throughout the rest of time. The Kaioken, the Spirit Bomb, a lot of the speed techniques.
He's still using Kaioken in a sense.
Yeah, he's still using it, and Spirit Bomb, all these other things. I don't know how much King Kai could have departed on him, considering they only trained for like 90 days out of the entire year he was dead. But I think in that period of time, it may be the most significant training that he's ever had that kind of impacted him just as a fighter and just as a presence in DBZ. Like, Goku isn't the same if he doesn't train with King Kai.
No, yeah, he's got to. We're due for another training session.
Yeah, I agree. So, I love the training. I love catching the monkey. Not Gregory. Bubbles.
Gregory?
Gregory was hilarious though.
Gregory.
Having to chase after him with a giant mallet. That's also funny. All of this is comedic relief, but it's the good kind of filler because at the same time, it's like you're getting the development of a character. You know that he's becoming stronger, but you're also having fun while watching it and also being introduced to new characters as well who make sense and have a purpose within this entire universe. So it kind of marks all the good filler, check marks. Like it checks all the boxes of like good filler. Like, not something where it's just like, oh damn, I really just wasted like 19 minutes of this.
There's bad filler.
And then like the last minute is like Vegeta and Nappa like flying through space.
Yeah.
I think there was Vegeta and Nappa. There was a significant Vegeta and Nappa moment in this entire thing, wasn't there? I feel like there was. Like they were on a planet and then destroyed it.
You talking about what we talked about last week when they were eating alien foots?
Yeah, but there was an actual like moment, like
they just kind of showed them. Yeah, I think they demonstrated
the princess thing.
Yeah. They demonstrated a little bit of
that was
what's expected. It was very weird.
That was weird because it was just like there's this entire like there's like a sub story of like this princess is like being held captive by this guy, and then the Saiyans come in not unknowingly and save her, and they're like, oh my god, and she gets to be reunited with their love. This is planet Arlia.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah, it gets to be reunited with their love, and then like Vegeta and Nappa fly off, and they're like, all right, let's blow this shit up.
Yeah, like what kind of shit is that? That shit is so evil. It's so evil, bro.
But that is the last episode that you see Vegeta in his red-haired Travis Scott-esque.
Yeah, that's it, man. Unfortunately, they decided to do away with it.
With that said, back to sort of the thing. Speaking of Saiyans, I think the legend of Saiyans being broken down by King Kai, albeit it's flawed because
the story doesn't hold
clearly. Up. It's not even that. Clearly, King Kai is telling the version of the story that has been spread by those who weren't actually a part of it. Like he tells a story. He tells the story of how the Saiyans came to be and kind of informing Goku of his own race thing, which is actually kind of cool in terms of like a cultural sort of way. It's like, okay, let me tell you about your race, considering you have no recollection, no understanding of it. The Saiyans were a race of kind of these barbaric people, and they live on the same planet as the Tuffles. And the Tuffles were super advanced science, buildings, all of this flying spaceships, I'm sure. Mm-hmm. Until the Saiyans was like, yo, why they get to live in paradise while we are here trying to squeeze rocks for water? Like, Well, yeah, so the Saiyans attacked the Tuffles. They had the war. Um, Eventually, there's a full moon, which means bye bye Tuffles.
Yeah. No chance.
Yeah, it was a wrap for the Tuffles. And then the Saiyans meet like another race of like highly, advanced people, and then now they become like space pirates because now they're just sent to planets to take them over, to do all this other stuff. And I think probably the most significant thing is that they said King Kai says the Saiyans planet had their own kind of kami, and him being distraught with how the Saiyans were acting, he called for a bunch of asteroids to come and destroy his own planet.
Right.
And I was like, "This is what you heard?"
Yeah, I'm about to say, who told you this, bro? Like, I need names.
We wouldn't learn. I mean, we wouldn't learn the actual truth until many, 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 many episodes later.
You and I, we don't mind the overall confusion about Saiyan history because it's stretched, and they let us kind of know that it's legend,
right? Because even then, I mean, at some point in the future, they eventually do show like this Nappa Raditz, Vegeta sort of thing, where they get an altercation with Dodoria and Zarbon and Frieza, and Raditz is like, "Yo, and then Vegeta's like, "Stand down." And I think they have a conversation. It's like, "Vegeta, you don't care. I heard that asteroids weren't actually the one to destroy our planet. It was Frieza." And Vegeta's like, "You don't think I know that? I've been plotting for years on how."
You already know Vegeta knows. Vegeta already know what's up, man.
Vegeta don't care, especially this iteration of Vegeta. He really don't care. I don't think there's a much more not caring guy in this arc than Saiyan Saga Vegeta, who's just like, YOLO. He don't care about Frieza. He don't care about nobody. He don't care about his Cybermen. He don't care about nothing. With that said, it's a great episode. I recommend it. It's called, I think the episode is called The Legend of Saiyans or something along those lines. Either way, if you want like a good kind of simplistic story of the Saiyans before it becomes too muddied with everything else that happens, it's a great episode to watch. So they finish up their training, which is cool because they don't reveal the Kaioken yet, but you realize they do mention that he has mastered it. He practices his spirit bomb, which is a very in this sort of iteration.
The spirit bomb.
He in this iteration of it, it's very like basic level.
Yes,
but we all know what it eventually becomes to be.
Right.
As the universe continues to expand, that spirit bomb continues to expand. But the timing is off because King Kai estimated wrongly the time it would take Goku to get back to Earth from when the Saiyans would actually arrive. And now we've got the chase. Because the Saiyans have officially shown up. They've landed on planet Earth. It's a badass entry.
It's a great. It is. It's really good. It's really good.
In terms of the entrance, it's just like they just show up, they land on the planet, and it's like this. Just the episode ends with like the stoic visual of like, Vegeta's there looking as confident as ever, and Nappa's there towering behind him, and it's just like, oh, they're here, and Piccolo feels it, Krillin feels it, Gohan feels
scared.
It,
all that training is whack now. They got scared.
Now.
That's that Krillin. Goku.
Oh my! That's a great voice, by the way.
Thank you. I'm gonna be debuting a lot of. I'm gonna be debuting a lot of Krillin, whiny stuff this season, man.
That is a great voice.
You're gonna be editing this one back, and you're gonna be like, oh my god, don't replay that.
But they all arrive, and now not only do we have 12 episodes of Goku trying to make it down Snake Way, and now in the next episode, we have several episodes of Goku trying to make it back down. And you know what? Goku had a point, because he sits there in front of King Kai. He was like, I thought you were going to zap me back.
I'm saying, you couldn't. Like,
what kind of king are you?
You can't just send me back.
What kind of king are you? He's like, I just thought you would zap me back. I was like, you know what? I respect it because that's exactly what I thought he would have done.
I've been doing all this training, now I got to go back.
You got to run all the way back. He's like, nah, but you'll be faster. Like it took you like
got niggas on the line, man. There. My family's on the line.
But it'll take you 2 days max to get there. I was like, 2 days is too long, bro. Like everyone gonna die. This is so much. But with this,
I mean, you already know how it is, man. You know, they got it. They got to give it to it like that, man.
We have capped off this series of episodes. A lot of filler, a lot of training, a lot of important stuff. Also some not important stuff, but I feel like we made it all sound important.
Like we always do.
But next episode,
yeah, we got some real drama. Real drama.
It's real drama as Vegeta and Nappa finally meet the Z Warriors, and the bodies start hitting the floor.
Yeah, they're not impressed.
With that said, we're at the end of this episode. If you like what we're doing, make sure you go over to rncradio.bigcartel.com and purchase a couple. Cop that merch.
Beautiful.
It's just easy. It's real easy. It's some beautiful shit. We'll be back next week. A couple, brand new episode. I can't wait to talk about next week because this battle thing, the fighting, that is the true crux of this.
You really see Z. Like this is like to me, this was a great way to really get violent. To show us Dragon Ball Z and what Z is going to be, you know what I mean? Like it's just really good. We get so
man gets his hand punched off.
We just get so caught up with like how crazy the series is later with Super Saiyan and the high power, but like this shit is raw getting your ass whooped. So
this is violence. This is the shit that they couldn't show on actual television
where the blood is black.
And I'm just like. I think obviously they toned it down a lot. I mean, there are a few violent moments in Dragon Ball Z. Maybe I should do a countdown of the most violent moments in Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, we should definitely do a most violent moments.
We should definitely do that. You know what?
Because top 3 is going to be Vegeta getting his arm broken by 18.
His arm broken. Yamcha getting a hand through his chest. Piccolo shooting a hole through Goku's tricep.
Some nasty
just various things. There's some nasty stuff in here, but you know what? We'll get into that pretty soon. Make sure you follow us, RNC Radio Live on Twitter. You can follow the Instagram, which will be updated eventually soon. I haven't had time to, but we're gonna get there eventually. At the lookout.db. The name might change too, so just stay tuned to the entire thing. But just follow RNC Radio Live on Twitter so you can follow all of our stuff. All of our shows. All of our stuff. You can find the link to our merch, which again is rncradio.bigcartel.com, where you can find the merch where you can buy. And I'm going to keep promoting it. I'm going to keep saying it because I want people to buy it and we want people to enjoy it. But we'll see you guys next week. Take care.
Yeah.